Okay.
It's 4 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So approved.
Motion. Second?
Yeah, he's.
2 seconds, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Let's go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance, even though it's not on here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're only here for one item today, so it's going to be a short and sweet thing. The reason this meeting has been called is because there was a breach in security at the courthouse on January the 20th, which was discovered because of a fire alarm. The supervisors were notified of this breach the next morning because of protocols set by the Iowa Secretary of State for election officers during elections, and the fact that we're in the midst of a special election being handled by our auditor's office. A video shows that Jacob Holmes and his children entered the auditor's office at 5:24 and exited the office at 6:06. They were in the auditor's office for 42 minutes. This was after hours, and no one from the general public should be in the auditor's office after hours during the time any election is being held. The Secretary of State was notified the next morning and advised of the situation. It was suggested that the auditor might want to make a statement about what occurred. As chairman of the Board of Supervisors, I went in and talked to the auditor and told her that inviting someone into her office after hours like this was unacceptable, and that no one should be in the office after hours while an election is being held. At that point, I decided not to bring it up at the board meeting. I felt that we had handled it. When I talked to the auditor on the phone about scheduling this meeting and told her the subject, she said she would resign and then we wouldn't need to have the meeting. I did talk with the county attorney and we determined we still needed to have the meeting. I then told her resigning was up to her, but we still needed to have the meeting. She then said she would think about it. That's the last I heard, and her staff did hear this conversation. At this point, there are enough people questioning this whole thing and asking for a further investigation that I believe we need to move forward to reassure everyone. At this point, I'd like to ask Sheriff McCullough, would you please speak to this? I guess we need to take, yeah, okay, it's over there.
Is this one live? Okay. If you guys are asking for an investigation into this, we would need a written statement from the Board of Supervisors to start the process. And then at that point, once I had a written statement, then the county attorney, Mr. Songson, and myself would find a entity that would be willing to investigate this, because this would be considered a conflict of interest for our sheriff's office to be investigating another county office. So if you guys choose to give us a written statement, then we will find somebody to go ahead and do the investigation for it.
I don't think there's any reason to. Jacob was a previous Board of Supervisor cleaning up a mess that we have had, signing documents that needed to get done for the IPIB. So there is nothing. Cindy is the auditor. She was appointed legally to the auditor's office. She controls her office. She has been working nonstop, probably working more than any auditor I've ever seen, and putting in time and effort. And to me, this is a political witch hunt, trying to defame the current auditor. And I'm not gonna be a part of that. That's not right. There's tons of people that come in and out of this courthouse after hours. There's people that have been suing this county that were let in by other supervisors before meetings. So if we wanna go down this road, then we're gonna look at everybody who lets everybody in before meetings or after meetings. And I just think it was a simple thing. He was in town, she called to see if he could come by, that was the time that he came by, she was still here at the office. He came in, signed the papers. You know, we have two candidates that are both on the ballot that have keys to that office nonstop, all through this election, and we have to trust them. They're in the office, they have keys, they can be here after hours, either one of them. And so, I don't see there being an issue. There is no chance of getting to ballots. There is no integrity lost with the ballots. They're sealed, I'm sure somewhere locked. So I just think this is kind of a waste of time for the county.
So you know what happened then, or what went on, or?
Yeah, I asked Cindy what happened, because I asked Corey when he sent the pictures, I said, did we ask the auditor what was the issue or what was going on? And he had not asked her, so I asked her, and she said Jacob came in and signed documents that we had to get signed on the minutes books to get this cleared up so that we could get the IPIB stuff all done and taken care of. And that's all he did. His kids talked to her about other stuff from the church, and he signed documents.
Under what authority after he's already been let go?
They were back from when he was chair, so they had to get him signed.
Why didn't he come in during working hours?
I don't know that. I don't know what his schedule has been.
It doesn't make any difference what his schedule is. Why didn't he come in during working hours?
I don't know. Why can't the auditor have whoever, if she needs to get a hold of somebody, why can't they come in and sign documents whenever if she's here?
Why didn't he come in during working hours?
I don't know. I guess you can ask him.
No.
Some people, their schedules are busy and it needed to get done, and so maybe he had some conflict. He just happened to be, he doesn't live in Clarinda, so I don't know. And I'm saying there's no issue. They're both very trustworthy, and I would not.
He lost his keys.
Well,
We're gonna
people
spend
lose keys all-
we're gonna
people
spend
lose keys
$400 to have new keys made. No, the issue is that we have an ongoing election. He was in the auditor's office. He was in a room with election equipment. The ballots were in the auditor's office. This is a breach of election protocol.
I think this should have been handled in closed session then. If you're gonna smear
I'm not smearing.
a sitting auditor.
I'm
then-
not smearing anyone.
Because that's an effect on the election, and you're trying to get this out to where it makes Cindy look bad.
I talked to the county attorney, and there was nothing that we could handle it under closed session. Is that right, Carl?
I did not see a code section that would fit that, a closed section. There's only one that involved an investigation, and it really didn't fit the issue here. So, no, I didn't see one that would fit.
There was nothing that would fit. So that's why it's an open session. It's not a matter of trying to smear anyone. It's a matter of election protocol. And it's that it was violated because someone was let in after hours when they could have come in during working hours to do this and should have come in during working hours to do this.
Oh,
There was no
you don't know
reason.
the circumstances.
It doesn't make any difference what
It
the
does.
circumstance. No, it
makes-
doesn't.
It absolutely does make, it does. You
No,
don't
it doesn't.
know unless you talk to Jacob, I guess.
There are 24 hours in a day, but the courthouse is open from 8 to 4:30,
Yep.
5 days a week. He could have come in any day. It didn't have to be that day or that time. So I'm sorry, and nobody's trying to smear anyone. Election protocol was violated.
So having two candidates on a ballot and both working in that election office doesn't throw any worries to anybody?
What do you mean?
Well, there's two candidates, both their names are on the ballot, and they're in that office, they're around the ballots all the time. Does that not worry anybody?
There are other people in that office. All the time.
But they have keys to that office, they could be in there anytime.
We also have cameras.
Right, are there cameras in the auditor's office?
Well, no, but
Okay. So then you just take their word that they're in the auditor's office doing whatever? If you have cameras and Kristen comes in, which she's entitled to, she's got keys to the building, and she comes in and she goes
She
in the
doesn't.
auditor's office.
she's not coming in after hours.
I'm just saying she has,
She's not coming in after
she
hours.
is able to, right?
She is not coming in after hours.
Well, she has capability.
She is not coming
I
in
don't
after
care
hours.
if she's not, she has capability.
She's not coming in after hours. So you don't need to go there.
I'm telling you, they just have access. So
She's
it's-
not though.
I don't think there's anything to this, and it's just kind of a.
Election protocol was violated. Period.
Can you prove that election protocol is violated?
Yes,
Did
because
they
he was
touch
in
any
the
ballots?
office.
Did they do anything?
He was in the office.
So you're gonna waste money on an investigation over nothing?
Was it nothing? I don't
Yeah.
know. Was it nothing? People out in the general public are asking questions, so I don't know.
Well, that's
They don't
funny
feel,
how-
they don't feel,
Because it wasn't ever brought up, and how the general public found out about it is kind of weird.
people in the courthouse knew.
How?
They just knew. I don't know. I didn't tell anybody.
That seems like there's a,
You had the pictures. Who did you tell?
nobody.
I didn't tell
It's a
anybody.
supervisor thing.
So I don't know, but other people knew. So, how do you feel, Brian?
Well, nothing happened, and that'll be a short, easy investigation and be done with it.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like we should do an investigation?
At this point, we've already brought it out in the public, we've got to get it solved now.
Okay. Do I have a motion to do something?
I'll make a motion that we sign a letter to continue with the investigation.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We'll do a short investigation, Charles, and move forward with it. Okay.
So who pays for the entity that you, since you have to get somebody else to investigate it?
I will assume it's probably the board of supervisors are gonna have to pay for this, because it's not our, I guess I don't know if it's our responsibility to investigate this stuff, but it is a conflict of interest that we're not going to get drawn into here. And if another county had the same thing like that and would like for somebody to investigate it, then if they contact us, then I would be apt to help them if that's what they needed. So.
Well,
but yeah,
I would hope they'd be able to pull all the videotapes from all the hours past before Cindy was auditor, to see how many people have been coming in this courthouse after hours.
When you guys get a written statement as to this to me, then I will find a entity that will do this.
Okay, we'll get that done.
Right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Charles. Could I hear a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll move for adjournment. 4:14.